There is a huge consciousness shift occurring right now because of the Edward Snowden situation. There are, particularly in America, what does it mean to go through a consciousness shift? It means that you are upholding what you feel is good for the human race in a way that aligns with the spiritual forces outside of you. And, a lot of people are going to have trouble with that because people feel, God wants us to be safe. God wants to protect us from terrorists and Muslims and whatever. And if they go really understand the Bible, that's not really what's going on. There is a violation of your humanity. There is a violation of your creativity. There is a violation of everything that we were supposed to exist for going on right now. And that is slowly coming undone. Right now it's coming undone on a superficial level. We have sort of the Armageddon scenario setting up where you've got Russia and China versus the United States, and then you got Ecuador sort of fiddling around there too. And I've the Revelations and Gomorrah, whatever that term is, you've got that setup happening now. But it's not happening in a way that sets up for Armageddon. It's in a very superficial way. China and Russia have set themselves up on the edge of this consciousness shift by not portraying Snowden and his actions as evil, as undermining a way of life, a way of democracy, because his actions haven't done that. He's undermined the way that democracy is being shunted. It's being thwarted. It's being full-blown stopped from the National Defense Act that says Americans can be persecuted to this now, that they're spying on everything we do. Everything, is really, it's going against the tide of this uplift. And I don't feel I'm speaking very clearly. I just wanted to get this message out that there's a huge consciousness shift happening, that players are joining the game that don't necessarily intellectually, logically fit the pieces, that Russia and China now are at the verge of this consciousness shift because of the decisions they made that are probably selfish and political, and they probably won't play out the full-blown thing, but the irony of the situation is that the United States is saying, they're making jokes that, Snowden is going through all these countries that are suppressed freedom rights, and Ecuador is joining that. There's it's a very strange spiritual dynamic. But the most important thing right now is to recognize the spiritual dynamic as it plays out. That these countries are joining in a very superficial manner the consciousness shift. But the most important thing is, where do you stand? Where do you stand right now? Are you going to go along with the darkness and saying it's okay for all of our lives to be broadcast on TV, to analyze everything that you do, and have no understanding of who you are as a person? You could say anything that's slightly off kilter in a few years from now, and the FBI could be at your doorstep in a matter of minutes, or helicopters in your phone lawn. It's that desperate. And of course Americans don't think they don't do anything wrong. And people in England don't think they do anything wrong, because doing something wrong is so vulgar. But and in that effort of I'm not doing anything wrong, there's even more simplification of who you are as a human being. Therefore, more disconnect from the spiritual sources, that connection to soul. So you really have to think about it now. There's a demarcation point. Who are you? What are you about? What do you want for yourself? If it's a clear choice between light and dark right now, at this moment, Edward Snowden provided that moment, and they are trying to protect him as, he put his phones in the refrigerator, he ate sausages and Pepsi before he left. What kind of person does that? Every American, they don't put their phones in the refrigerator, but they eat Pepsi and sausages for the most part. I mean, that's what Americans do, and he was probably enjoying a last meal, because they might not have Pepsi and sausages in Guantanamo or Ecuador or wherever he ends up going. There's a huge angelic presence right now around Edward Snowden, because he is providing this moment on this planet where people are going to join sides. And it's not a clear distinction between light and dark. It's not good and evil as it's been portrayed black and white throughout all of our conscious history. It's about where you feel you belong. And, you know, sausages and Pepsi are now skewed in that manner too. Because of most Americans who are out there saying Edward Snowden should get the needle, Edward Snowden should be shot, eat sausages and Pepsi. So, do you like eating your sausages and Pepsi? It's a very complicated dynamic. But if you're gonna be, I want this man dead, I want him killed, I want the government to spy on me, then go for it. You're going dark. If you're saying, this bothers me, I don't want the government listening to my phone calls with my mother, I don't want the government knowing what I bought at the store for groceries, because it's none of their business. Because down the road, what if I don't eat sausages and Pepsi? Will I be considered a traitor because I eat French fries? That was not too long ago when people stopped eating French fries, or they renamed them. I mean, these are such of the banal issues that are going on right now. The consciousness shift is happening on a very superficial level. I'm sorry to say, for all the Bilderberg attendees, it's not happening on a mass scale in a way that's meaningful. It is happening very superficially. Russia and China are the example. Sausages and Pepsi in the New York Times, and people can't see that the New York Times is trying to make this into some Kim Kardashian, Kanye West baby scandal, to make it so superficial that we don't notice the person. We don't notice the deep, resonating things, responses and shifts that are going on right now, and how the new world order is falling apart, and the world is being shifted. Now the power is holding these nations that no one, Russia, China, Ecuador, Iceland, places that we didn't think really mattered, because our understanding of democracy has changed. It's just a very difficult time to understand. But the most important thing right now is, who are you? Where do you stand? What do you want for yourself? And to really investigate that, and to really understand that resonance within you. Because that's what Edward Snowden has provided us at the baseline of our existence. And, the rest will fall into place. But it's important to understand that this conscious shift is happening superficially. It's not happening in a profound, oh my God, I can feel the presence of God within me. It's happening on a judgmental, geopolitical basis. And people are out there calling for blood, and people are out there calling for freedom, and you have to understand what that means for you. Calling for blood for another man, and what does that mean for you? That's the story unfolding right now on the planet. Are you going to be a conscious upholder of freedom in a way that is freedom for everyone around you? Or are you going to be a bloodsucker, violent, angry, dark person who wants to punish other nations, who wants to punish other human beings, who wants all the information, available about your life to people who could harm you in the future? Are you going to be dark? Or are you going to be light? The answer is now. Edward Snowden, thank you so much. God bless you. Soul bless you. Hope you have Pepsi where you're going. Thank you.